Shalom. This video will cover Chapter 10 vocab in Mounce's Basics of Biblical Greek, 4th edition. So here we go. The first word here is a. Now notice there's no accent. There is a smooth breathing, but no accent. With an accent, it means you are. It's the second person singular form of the verb ami, which is I am. A is you, are, you, and that could be, it's singular, but it could be you, masculine or feminine, because gender is not encoded, but that's a difference. So they're spelled the same, epsilon iota, and they both have a smooth breathing, but the accented form with the circumflex here is a verb. But the vocab entry we're looking at, notice there's no accent. And this is the word if, and it introduces a dependent clause. The next is the same particle, the same word a, plus may, a form of negation. A may, and notice the accent here on may, a may, and it means most often except, perhaps if not, depending on the situation. Next, we have a third declension adjective meaning one, and we have three forms here. The first form is masculine, heis. That's the word you'll find if you look in the Greek version of Deuteronomy 6:4, the Shema, where it says echad, Adonai echad, God is, the Lord is one. The Greek says heis. Mia, notice it's from a completely different verb, or different root, for the feminine, mia. And then hen for the neuter. Notice heis and hen both have a rough breathing, and they are third declension, whereas mia is a feminine first declension. So it's a 3-1-3 adjective. Next we have the word ede. It means now or already, occurs 61 times. Next we have the noun onoma, and the genitive form onomatos. That, if we remember now, that's a mat stem from chapter 10, where it's a third declension. But because Greek doesn't like to end words with the tau, it drops off in the nominative. So onoma, but then the tau returns, onomatos, onomati, etc. as we go down the paradigm. And the definite article is to here, so that means it's neuter. But we should remember that not all third declension nouns are neuter. We'll see that in a bit here, but onoma is neuter. 230 occurrences. That translates the Hebrew word shem, the word name. Next, we have a compound word. It actually is built of three different bits. We see it in all three forms here, in masculine, feminine, and neuter. And you see the ending follows the adjective that we have above, heis, mia, and hen, but we have a de put in front of them, and then a u in front of that. So it's u plus de plus the three forms of saying one, if I scroll back up here. So it's these three, heis, mia, hen, in a compound form that has u, which is the negative particle, plus de, that's that conjunction, and then heis, mia, and hen. So it's udes, udamia, and uden. And it means no one, none, or nothing. So udes, udamia, uden. So this, just like heis, mia, and hen, is a 3-1-3. That means udes and uden will decline in a third declension, just like hasten hen, and then udamia is a first declension, will decline just like mia. Pas, pasa, pan. Pas, pasa, pan. This also is a 3-1-3, where pas and pan actually come from pant, and our third declension, whereas pasa, the feminine, is a first declension, and it comes from pasa. So in the singular, it means each and every. In the plural, it means all. Pas, pasa, pan. There's a full paradigm that you can review in chapter 10 of pas, pasa, pan. Next, we have a preposition, peri. Peri, this is like where we get the English word perimeter. If you think of perimeter. Peri, with a noun or followed by a noun that's in the genitive, it means concerning or about. If it's followed by an accusative noun, it means around that thing. So concerning or about in the genitive, or if it's followed by an accusative, around. 333 occurrences. Okay, here's another important third declension noun. Sarx, sarkos, and he. Notice, so it's the feminine article here. That means we have a third declension noun that is a feminine gender. Sarx. Now, what we see over here is a reminder that the root is a kappa. It's a kappa stem, so it ends in a kappa. But in the nominative, we see a xi. Why? Because if you remember, the sigma, which marks the nominative singular, collides with the kappa, and Greek doesn't like the kappa sigma, and so we get the xi, sarx. But the kappa returns and holds its own in the genitive, where we just add the ending os, sarkos. Sarkos, sorki, sarka, etc. All the way down, we retain the kappa. But in the sarx in the nominative singular, and sarx in the dative plural, also we get the x, sarxin. Okay, and that means flesh or body. Another preposition sun, sigma, upsilon, nu, and notice it only takes one case after it, and it's the dative, and it means with. Sun, with a dative. Here's another third declension noun, this one being a neuter. Soma, somatos, somati, etc. It's a mat stem, just like onoma, onomatos, etc. Soma, somatos, ta. So it means body. Maybe you remember in English, somatic, something like that. All right. Next we have teknon, means child or descendant. Teknon. Notice the genitive is teknu, so this is a second declension. Teknon, teknu. Ta is our neuter. So here's an example of a second declension noun that is neuter, like ergon, for example. Ergon, ergu, ergo, etc. Teknon, teknu, tekno. It's going to decline just like ergon. Here we have what's called our interrogative pronoun, tis and t, and this is a 3-3, which means tis covers both masculine and feminine. T is neuter. And you see it can mean who, what, which, why. And this is to be differentiated. So tis t occurs 555 times, and the root is tin. But notice also tis and t without the accent on the iota. Same root, tin, 525 times. But this one is not interrogative. This is the indefinite article. It means someone, something, or the indefinite pronoun, rather. Someone, something, a certain one, a certain thing, anyone, that sort of what we call an indefinite pronoun. So these are to be distinguished, tis and t, and tis and t. And remember, for my memory, I remember the Yoda with the accent, which throughout the paradigm, the Yoda will have the accent, as a visual cue, or a reminder of an upside down question mark, which tis and t will never have. And so that reminds me, that upside down question mark reminds me that this is the one that's the interrogative here, meaning it's the question, who, what, which, etc. Okay, notice where we're at here. Total word count in the apostolic writings is 138,148. We've learned 102 words so far in Mounce. This chapter, if you take the chapter 10's vocab times occurrences, it's 4,623. But if you look at all the 102 words we've learned so far, times their number of occurrences, we're pushing 80,000. And this is 56.94, almost 57% of the total word count. So that means more than every other word, more than 1 out of 2 words you will recognize and be able to parse. Now, that doesn't mean you understand the whole sentences, but this is really something to celebrate. So well done if you're following along and you've got this much under your belt. That's a really good position to be in going forward. All right, shalom.